Greetings, everyone. Before we start, I have a quick question for you all. No thinking, just pure honesty. How many of you sitting here have tried changing yourself in the slightest just so you could fit in much better? A different laugh, a different choice, altogether a different version of yourself. Okay, okay, you don't need to answer me. Just answer yourself in your heart, quietly and truly. But the real question, the real deal, narrows down to one point, one single point. Since when did being accepted start feeling like betraying your own self, betraying your own being? Okay, let's start with a confession. Let's start with my very example. I used to be good, really good, at pretending that I am okay. Laughing on the outside, bubbly on the outside, but feeling uncomfortable on the inside. A moment when I agreed, not because I wanted to, but because saying no felt heavier than saying yes could ever be. If you have ever done that too, then this talk might just be for you. You are not weak. You are human, just like all of us sitting here, like every other person in this world. And moreover, today is not about fitting in. It's about what we lose when we try to. People often try to fit into a skin not meant for them, just to be cool. And slowly, bit by bit, we start editing who we are. Not for joy, but for acceptance. Acceptance from whom? The society, everyone else, but ourselves. The greatest prison people live in is the fear of being charged and tagged. A moment when your mind says no, but your mouth, it says yes. Now that is what we call peer pressure. And it doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers. Everyone is doing it. So should you. From a very young age, we all are taught how to succeed in life, but rarely taught how to belong in this large world without losing ourselves completely. So we adapt, we adjust, we shrink, we stretch, we edit who we are, just so that we could fit in. And the tricky part? Well, the tricky part about peer pressure is that it often comes disguised as beautiful friendships. So, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Gitasmita Kundu, representing Delhi Public School Fulbari, honored and deeply pleased to be on this platform, to be sharing my ideas on how I navigated my way through peer pressure and learned to build strong relationships in life. As I said, let's start with my example, so let's get into it. Just a few months ago, I met a few people who seemed to have life figured out. They were funny, popular, confident, cool. Basically the kind everyone wanted to be friends with. And that was when I thought, I have finally found my place. But the truth? Well, the truth was something entirely different. I was nothing like them. I am the girl who goes to bed in silly pajamas. The one who dances like there's no tomorrow on Taylor songs. Someone who doubts herself on quiet nights. And someone who is deeply insecure and vulnerable at times, like all of us sitting here, like every other human in this world. But around them, I tried to be someone else. Someone I was clearly not. So we hung out, we laughed, we called it friendship. Until I realized something was wrong. They were involved in things I was uncomfortable with. Things they were deeply into. And the worst part, they started expecting me to be into it as well. And that was when I did something unfamiliar. You know what I did? I stopped. I looked up and I said one word. No. What shocked me in that moment wasn't their reaction. You know what truly shocked me? It was my own clarity. Because standing right there, epiphany seemed to have hit me like a truck. Every time I denied myself, I was asking others permission to fit in. And I didn't need to do that. I was called boring. And the next thing I know, I knew I had to leave. Now, I asked myself one question that very night, sitting in my own bedroom. Gitasmita, it's high time you confront yourself. Were these people really your friends? This answer was very simple, yet painful. Yes, I could laugh with them, but could I ever cry in front of them? No. Could I ever be vulnerable with them? Out of the question, never. And that small answer made the difference. I realized real friends don't need you to perform. Real friends don't push you past your boundaries. And real friends certainly do not disappear when you choose yourself. They sit with you in silence, and that silence feels safe, loud, and enough, just like a warm hug. I realized standing alone for a while necessarily does not mean loneliness. Sometimes it just means preparation. Preparation for the right place, the right time, and the right people. Because eventually I found my people. Yes, my people. No, we are not cool by so-called social media standards. But we make nonsense songs, laugh at literally nothing, cry without embarrassment. They have held me when I was defeated, devastated. And they were the ones who celebrated me when I healed, when I was at the top of the podium. My wins feel lighter with them. And my losses? Just a bit more survivable. No, we do not look perfect together. But with them, life feels real again. I still want people to like me. Very much so. But this time, there is a small change. I want people to like this unfiltered version they see of me. And if that means being too loud, too emotional, too dramatic, or just too much in general, then so be it. I'm not here to motivate any of you. I'm just here to remind you all. If you are constantly shrinking yourself to make somebody else comfortable, stop. If you are saying yes out of fear and not will, pause. If any relationship or any friendship is costing you your peace, then my dear, it's too expensive. Building strong relationships do not require pretending. All they require is honesty and just a heart-to-heart conversation. When you choose yourself, you are not losing friends. You are clearing space. And what clears and fills that space oftentimes are those people who do not need you edited. And just sometimes, the strongest relationship you will ever build is the one you build with yourself when you finally stop abandoning yourself for everybody else. Remember, I have never met a critic who was doing better than I was. If even one person here chooses themselves after this conversation, then I think it was pretty worth it and I did my job well. With this, I, Gitasmita, take your leave for the day. Thank you. It's been an honor. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.